Bitterness rarely begins with hatred. It often begins with disappointment that was never fully processed, betrayal that was never repaired, injustice that was never acknowledged, or expectations that repeatedly collided with reality. A person may experience something painful and initially feel sadness, anger, or grief, but when those emotions remain unresolved, they can harden into a lasting interpretation of life. The mind begins collecting evidence that people cannot be trusted. Relationships are unfair, effort is unrewarded, and good intentions are eventually punished. Bitterness grows when pain is repeatedly revisited, without being transformed into understanding or acceptance. The person may continue mentally returning to what happened, imagining how things should have been, comparing their present circumstances with what they believe they deserved, and measuring every new experience against an old wound. This creates a psychological attachment to the past. The original event may have ended years ago, but emotionally it remains active because the mind continues demanding an outcome that can no longer be obtained. Bitterness can become especially powerful when someone believes they were denied something they deserved, whether recognition, loyalty, love, fairness, opportunity, or respect. The pain becomes connected to a sense of injustice, and the injustice becomes connected to identity. Eventually, resentment can feel safer than vulnerability, because anger provides structure to emotions that otherwise feel helpless. The person may believe they are protecting themselves by expecting disappointment, but they are also preventing new experiences from being judged independently of old wounds. The hidden roots of bitterness often lie in unresolved grief and the refusal to accept what cannot be changed. Acceptance is frequently misunderstood as approval, forgiveness, or surrender. In reality, acceptance means recognizing that the past cannot be rewritten, even when it was deeply unfair. A bitter mind continues negotiating with history, mentally constructing alternative outcomes and imagining what should have happened. This creates a permanent psychological conflict between reality and expectation. The person may punish themselves and others by refusing to release the emotional debt created by the past. They may become suspicious of happiness, uncomfortable with other people's success, or unable to fully enjoy new relationships because old disappointments remain psychologically present. Bitterness can also become a form of identity because resentment provides a familiar explanation for why life feels unsatisfying. Letting go can therefore feel frightening because it requires discovering who you are without the grievance that has occupied so much emotional space. Healing begins by acknowledging the injury without continuing to live inside it. This does not require pretending that what happened was acceptable. It means refusing to give the past unlimited authority over the present. A person can remember betrayal without expecting betrayal everywhere. They can recognize injustice without allowing anger to consume every future experience. They can grieve what they lost without becoming permanently defined by the loss. The deepest transformation occurs when emotional energy moves from punishment toward rebuilding. Bitterness weakens when the person stops waiting for the past to become different before allowing the present to become meaningful. You may never receive the apology you deserved. You may never recover every opportunity that was lost. You may never obtain perfect justice. But your life does not have to remain suspended until those things happen. Healing begins when the person understands that releasing bitterness is not a gift to the person who caused the wound. It is a recovery of psychological freedom. The past can remain part of your history without remaining the ruler of your emotional life.